Alafia, this is Yeyefini.com with our monthly newsletter. This month we're dedicating the newsletter to the celebration of the ancestors. Annually, I do a celebration going to the ocean and invoking the ancestors of the Middle Passage, as well as when I do my personal ancestral celebration of my family and their history and the things that of value that they have passed down to me. I also do a celebration for the priests and priestesses from the line that I am descended from in this Lukumi Yoruba tradition. However, with the activities that have been going on this year, I think I'm going to take this opportunity to speak about what happened this month in Baltimore with the riots and use this as a platform for me to speak as to what is it this means and how is it that we can make a difference. The riots in Baltimore is just one of the examples of why it is that we need to connect to spirit. We ask ourselves, how could this country, how could be our community be so in such a volatile place? Well, it is that there, of course, we all know that the when there's no peace, there's no harmony, and there is fear. And so the reaction to the fear that we see is the fear of the children, the adults, the community not feeling supported and not finding their voice. And so this is a way of voicing. It's a very bad way in that the destruction of property in your own property. It seems foolish, but I think this is an opportunity for us to really connect to the bigger issue here. As an African, I speak from the place of knowing that whenever there is an echo in the world, it is spirit calling for something. And this is a time for us to connect to the spirit of the ancestors, for those who died, who fought, who struggled, who overcame, to make sure that we have a place known such as Baltimore, Maryland. And so today, as we honor our ancestors, take the opportunity to really connect in taking back your communities through ritual and through ceremony. And one of the ceremonies that we will be doing this year for the celebration here in Florida is to each person get a location that is a sacred space, create a sacred space where it's cleansed, it's smudged with incense, with frankincense, or with sage. And at that time, you will call and invoke the ancestors by pouring a libation and having candles to represent, but also foods, because the energy of the food brings the spirit or the energy of life together with us. And everyone will bring a picture of a deceased relative. And at that time, light a candle. Every person have one candle and a picture, and you can speak of to the experiences of your ancestors and experiences of what they taught you and how you learned to be who you are today. And at the same time, we must invoke the community ancestors, the ancestors of our community who struggled to bring liberation, who brought peace within our home. And if we could do this celebration as a community at least once every season, we will then have the support and the energy of the ancestors. Because as African people, we are connected to spirit. Every human being is connected to spirit, but we understand that in appreciating and going into the higher vibration of spirit, we perform rituals or ceremony. And so when we come together and do this ceremony or celebration of constantly calling on the ancestors and saying, protect our community, help us to be in control of our lives, help us to change the laws, change the situations that we feel sometimes impotent as to making some improvements in our community. If we just lay back and say, well, it is going to be how it is and we're going to march and sing and hope, it is not going to work, because the energy of peace and love comes when people are, their intention is about peace and love. And so if we come together with the energy of asking the ancestors and calling on the ancestors' power, because we know that spirit never dies. The fact that we're speaking of people and ancestors who are not here, their energy is living in that we are here today speaking of them. I know my ancestors are very happy that I am doing this exchange, and I know your ancestors are happy that you're receiving it. So let's get together, move in a way that is going to make a difference. We're going to now move together. I'm calling and challenging all of the leaders of the different organizations, of the churches, of all of the spiritual groups, the churches, the mosques, the synagogues, the Yoruba temples, the Ifa temples, the people that are involved in Buddhism, all of us to come together and to send an energy into the universe of peace, of harmony, and create rituals and ceremonies so that we will be able to then make a difference and show the future generations that we are handing them over their future, not them trying to grab at it because we are not there to give them the proper rites of passage of power. Ritual ceremony as African people is the way to connect to the voice of the ancestors. And the ancestors will be encouraged, will be energized, and we will then become the vehicle for change and for peace. So have a wonderful memorial celebration. And when you're having your picnics and your barbecues, invoke the ancestors. Call on Uncle Joe and Sister Mary. Pour libation and ask them to come and be witness to the grandeur, the wonderful thing of the family, and extend that to the entire community. Then it will vibrate to your neighborhood. It will vibrate to your state, to your nation, to the world, and to the universe. So with that, I say alafia, thank you, and have a blessed, wonderful May.